What's going on, Michelle? What's shaking?
Hey, Lindsay, not too much. I am really excited to be here on YouTube today. Guys, this episode is on YouTube, so go on over and watch us there.
Yeah, guys, we try to do a few episodes a week on our YouTube channel as well as on the podcast. So, guys, go over and check it out if you want to see us recording today. It's very exciting. See us on video here.
Absolutely. All right. So, Lindsay, what's that street's name? I can't think of it. The one near you. I want to say Bloom Street. Is that right?
That's the one, Michelle. You got it. You got the nail on the head.
Awesome. Love it. Lindsay, today I'm excited about this topic. This is going to be fun because this is one of those situations where I heard this when I was out one day and I wrote it down because I was like, this is fun.
Real English for you guys, right? We're trying to get away from the textbook English, the old way of learning. This is the new way of learning where we take our English straight from our conversations in work or colleagues or friends and we bring it to you guys. So good.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is fun. So today we are talking about a way to show you're not exactly sure about something. And this is fun and unique and helpful. And I also think just very natural and conversational, Lindsay. So what is it? I already said it.
Yeah, it is the phrase I want to say, right? It's also, I would say, in addition to being fun, unique, conversational, it's also pretty authentic because you're showing the person without saying, I think, or I'm not sure.
Yes.
You're showing that you're trying to arrive at the answer. It's kind of cool to be authentic like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but what does it mean? I want to say, and when is it used? And do we have to say it in that way?
Yeah. So it's used to kind of approximate, kind of guess, right? If you're not quite sure about something, or if you're stretching, your mind, I could tell, I want to say Bloom Street, right? Was that what it was? This is great. So useful in so many situations and very human too, as we've said. We're doing a lot of human like episodes today, right? We're not robots. We're not robots.
A lot of human episodes. Exactly, guys. This is very useful. So, all right, let's do some examples. So here we go.
Okay.
She'll meet you there. What's her name? I want to say Marie.
Okay, good. Yeah. So there if you have a hard time with names, right? Maybe be careful who you're saying this to, right? I mean, even this morning I ran into my neighbor who we've been living here for a number of months and I couldn't remember his dog's name. And I felt so bad. I was like, oh, I'm asking the dog's name again. Right. And I always get it confused. So
did you ask?
I did have to ask, unfortunately, but just be careful who you're asking and for names. Names are tricky.
Right. It would be awkward if this was like somebody's wife and I was like, what's her name? Yeah, I want to say
yeah, it's not good. Not good.
That's a little awkward, but maybe I'm imagining maybe there's like a realtor or something. And I'm like, oh, she's going to meet you there. What's her name? Oh, I want to say, something like that.
Yeah. Someone that's kind of adjacent to your immediate circle, right? They're just kind of a professional in your world. Here's another sample sentence, Michelle. There should be some money left over in that account. I want to say $500. So in the end of that, I could have had a question mark, which I did use a question mark in my intonation, but I didn't have to. Right?
No, right. You didn't have to. It's okay. Like you said, it's kind of human to do this. So you can just say it. It's okay. You don't have to sound so unsure, but you can. It's up to you.
Good to know. Good to know. So what else, Michelle? What else do our listeners need to know to start using this?
Yeah, well, this basically means I think, right?
Yeah.
But this is a different way to do it. So, and I was thinking about this, and I thought it also shows some confidence, because it is unique sounding to say instead of like, oh, I think it's this. There's something about this expression to me that when I hear people use it, it sounds kind of confident, and I don't know why. And I wonder if there's anything you can grasp onto there, or if I'm just,
I hadn't thought about that. What strikes me is that it's interesting. It's ironic. Yeah. It's an ironic phrase because you're saying you want to say it, but you're actually saying it.
That's true too.
But I see what you mean. I mean, we've talked on this show before about certain things you could say that create a sense of confidence in other people's eyes. Things like, I believe, yes, and here's why, ... things like that. So for you, Michelle, this falls into that category of confidence for you, right?
Right. Yeah. I want to say, right. I like it. I don't know why, but I really like it. But Lindsay, do you use this expression, do you think?
Oh, well, maybe I should use it more often to sound cool and confident.
It sounds so wonderful.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I tend to use I think. And I think we're trying to get today away from I think, right? And that's kind of, we're giving you alternatives to I think, right? What's the size of your windows? I want to say they're 4x4, or I think they're 4x4. I want to say is more interesting and more fun, right? But I tend to say I think, unfortunately.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. But this is something you can add. So I'm giving you a little assignment, Lindsay.
Okay. I'm ready.
What about in business? Can we use this?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the fact is, in business, things are not always sure. Nothing is honestly sure in business, right? We're just never quite sure. You're setting your goals. I want to say we'll hit X number, but who knows, right? Again, with predicting things in the future could work too.
Right. That's true. Exactly. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it all the time in business. Like, you don't want to sound like you're always questioning yourself. Like, when I talk about it sounding confident, I think it's if you use it, at a regular amount.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Don't repeat anything you hear on the show too much, right? That's the key.
Right. Exactly. So you don't want to sound like you're questioning yourself, but it can be useful and helpful if you use it occasionally. And I just want to stress, is it ever I want to say ever, Lindsay?
No, guys, never. If you study pronunciation, you can mimic us. We never say I want to say. We just don't have the time. Okay. So we bring the words together. All right. That's so important. Yeah.
So make sure you're using it that way. So I thought of some other ways to get a similar point across. So some of them are more specific. I want to say is very versatile. It can be with numbers, it can be with names, it can be with lots of different things.
Yeah.
But what is this first one here?
So it should be around, and this is kind of predicting a number, right? As you said, Michelle, it should be around 25 or 20 minutes. Here's a sample sentence. I'm not sure how long it will take, but it should be around 20 minutes. Okay.
Right. And you could have said it should be around, I want to say 20 minutes.
You could double up here. We could stack these phrases.
Double up.
It could be, I'm going to go with, I want to say, right? And that's the next one. I'm going to go with. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go with. So her title, what's her title? I'm going to go with VP of Student Affairs.
Yeah. And one thing I want to point out about this one, I think there's a little more ceremony around this one. Because this, I think of using it more like in a game situation, like the other weekend. Yeah. We were playing a game, one of those games where like you have to guess who wrote a certain answer to a certain question, right? Like what's the best day of your life? And you get 3 answers. And then you have to say, I'm going to go with, this person wrote this. So there's a little more ceremony around saying, I'm going to go with you, right? I think it's this.
Right.
It's kind of a bit of a guessing game. Would you agree with that?
I would. And this gives me, in this particular example, her title. What's her title? I'm going to go with, it almost sounds like I'm about to type up something. Maybe I'm putting it on her name tag. So you better hope I'm right, but it almost sounds like a little bit more official.
Okay. So what we're saying here is this one's a little different because it's elevated because you're going to use that information for something important, a game, answer a question in a game, or make a title, make a name card. So it's slightly different, but it's the same idea. Right, Michelle?
Exactly. And then I threw in, I believe, because I know we probably know this one, but I wanted to stick in a more formal one. So it can be used in this way. So something like, you two have met, I believe, in 2009.
Yeah. And it's always good to have a more formal thing to say here. Why, Michelle, job interviews. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right. When did you temp for that agency in New York City? Oh, I believe it was 2014, right? You wouldn't say, I want to say.
Yes. Oh, true. Yeah, that would, on a job interview, I wouldn't say, I want to say. I wouldn't say, I want to say.
Exactly. So this is really helpful to have something instead of, I think, in a formal situation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Very good. But again, don't use it all the time. I believe. Like don't do that. So in a second, guys, we are going to do a role play with these expressions. But before we do that, what do we want to remind our listeners of, Lindsay?
Yeah, guys, take our fluency quiz. Find out your score. Very simple. It's a 2-minute quiz and you'll know where you are at. We're all moving towards 99% fluency, but where are you? So go to allearsenglish.com/fluency score. Okay.
All right. Well, let's do it. So, Lindsay, we are coworkers in this role play in the event planning industry.
Yeah. I always wonder what that would be like, being an event planner, how that would be. So we get a chance to see now. Let's go.
Right.
Here we go. Okay. So there should be, I want to say 50 people there.
That sounds about right. It should be around $25 a head then.
Right. And the client, what's her name again? I'm going to go with Jean. Jean wants flowers on half of the tables.
Yeah, it is Jean. I believe she said 75% of the tables, actually.
Oh, that's right. You got it. Oh, Jean is very demanding, a demanding client.
Yes, exactly. She wants us to do a lot of counting.
Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. So I said, okay, so there should be, I want to say 50 people there, right? So I'm kind of estimating, I'm saying, I think there's going to be 50 people there, ballpark figure, right, Michelle?
And then I said, it should be around $25 a head then. So maybe it changes based on how many people are going to attend. Sometimes the rate can change, something like that.
Yeah, for sure. And then I said, right. And the client, what's her name again? I'm going to go with Jean, right? Because I need to come up with the client's name here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go with Jean. So maybe you weren't writing it down, but guys, this one could be used if more like if you were put her name somewhere. Right.
Yeah.
And then I said, I believe she said 75% of the tables actually.
Yes. And so now you're going into that more professional register, right? More formal, because we're professionals here in this industry and we're doing this, right? I believe she said 75%. I love it. So what does this do, Michelle, for a takeaway for our listeners? What does this add to your language when you add this in? I want to say
it's kind of playful, in a way. It's very natural, and it's a way of saying I think, or you're not 100%. But it's a way of showing that in kind of a unique, fun way.
Yeah, for me, I'm excited that our listeners can stop using I think as much, just because it is so bland and it's so standard, and it's probably what your textbooks taught you, but we want to hear something else from you guys, right? So start playing around with some of these. I want to say, I believe, I'm going to go with. These are what give you personality and help you connect, right, Michelle?
That's right, Lindsay. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad we did an episode on this. This is fun. And guys, we will see you on the next one.
All right. Sounds great. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.